Hey guys, Fluff here, coming back at you, Attack on TCG. I've got another deck profile for you. This one was a request by Aaron Wright. Aaron, I'm really tired of doing GT stuff, but for you, we'll do it. This is going to be the last GT deck for a little while. I think I've explored the engine enough that I think Triple Flash is probably one of my favorite cards in the game right now. But with that being said, we do have the Vegeta Baby Leader here. And of course, this is going to be a red GT deck updated for set 5. As you can see, if I move, you get this bright little light there. It's really fun. So I'll make sure to not do that during the deck profile. But looking at the leader, I never played with this leader, and I gotta say, I really like him a lot. He's really versatile. Auto, when he attacks, you draw one. And then activate main, you can take one from your life, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and it loses 5,000 power for the turn. Which is really awesome for getting rid of 5,000 draw cards, getting rid of intensifying power Trunks, or the newfound power Son Gohan. I just really like this leader. Of course, when he's at 4 or less life, you get to awaken it by retapping 2 energies and flipping him over. On the backside, look at it, it's so pretty. But when he attacks, you get to draw 1 card, and then activate main once per turn. You choose one of your cards, it loses 15,000 power for the turn, and then you pick 2 of your opponent's cards, and they lose 10,000 power for the turn. So that's really good against stuff like Swap, and Storm. It's really good against a number of different decks. Just remember that Barrier will prevent that from going off. So don't kill one of your cards if you can't kill one of theirs. But other than that, this leader is fantastic. It works really well with the GT engine. And honestly, I was pretty surprised with the deck. So that's the leader. I've gone over the leader. I'm going to move him to the side. And we are going to get into the meat of the deck. Starting out first for our 1-drops. It's been a while. I've been working a lot with Shenron stuff lately. But we are running 4 of the Dependable Mom Bulmas. She's pretty amazing. You play her, you switch her to rest mode, activate main, you pick one of your red battle cards, it gains 5,000 power, and then you draw 1 card. This is an awesome little engine. It keeps your opponent... your opponent has to choose, do they invest resources or attacks into getting rid of her and letting you generate advantage turn after turn, or do they let her go and you just keep going? So it kind of puts, it's an awesome target for your opponent to have to decide whether they want to waste resources or attacks going after her. So we do run 4 of her. She's an awesome little draw. Keeping in the theme of 1-drops, we do play Intensifying Power Trunks. Because we are not playing a Shenron leader, Awakening is really important. This guy has been amazing since he came out in set 4. So when he attacks, take 1 from your life, he gains 10,000 power and crit. We run 4 of these. We want to see 1 in the first couple turns. I would say this and Dependable Mom Bulma are our choices for turn 1 plays. Going after that, we do play 4 of the Pint-Sized Warrior Son Goku. I hadn't actually run this guy in any of the decks that I had used before, but without the dependability of Shenron's draw or Pan's draw or, you know, just a fast way, I wanted to make sure I saw the Goku pieces that I needed as I needed them. So being able to play him, you look at your top 7 and you grab 1 Son Goku GT. We do play a number of them in this deck. So we wanted to have this to make sure we had our pieces as we need them. Again, this can grab Triple Flash. This can grab Hyper Evolution. This can grab any of the stepping pieces that we need to go off. So we do run 4 of those. Next for our super combo, we're running the new Sideline Assist Bulma. You could run the Sparkling... which one is Sparkling? Is that Roshi?
Yes, Roshi is Sparkling.
Yeah, Roshi is Sparkling. You could run Roshi in this, but we do run a couple Overwhelms to ox our plays. So I wanted to do the 4 or less life, or you could even use the 5 or less life. But I really just like the Sideline Assist Bulma. She fits. You get to 4 life pretty easy in this deck. So she's ready to go as soon as possible. So we run 4 of those naturally. Continuing with the theme of our GT engine, we do run 4 of the Determined Super Saiyan Son Goku. When your life is at 4 or less, while he's on the field, he counts as having an energy cost of 5, and he runs critical. This guy is our major stepping stone into getting. You don't want to play him unless you can immediately go into, say, a triple flash or something better. In testing with this, if you leave it on the field, your opponent will go out of their way to get rid of it in the next turn, because they usually know that that means something big is coming later. But we do run 4 of him because it's absolutely essential. And actually, I just want to say, I think this card is the reason that Triple Flash is so good. This card is really easy. It fits under Chain Attack Trunks. It doesn't take a lot to get his effect off, just as long as your life is at 4 or less. So I think this card is the reason that GT is so good. And then next, we run 3 of the combination attack pans. I love having these in hand when you go into Triple Flash or Hyper Evolution. This makes sure that you get their effects when you need their effects. So we do run 3 of these. And just to go over their effects, I know I've done it before, but when you have a Son Goku or Trunks GT in the battle area with 25,000 or more attack power, you can play her from free from your hand and then pick one Son Goku or Trunks GT, and they gain 5,000 for the duration of the turn. So if you're dropping 2 of these, something is getting 10,000. And from there, we do run 3 of the Fearless Pans. I chose to run these over Zeno because I wanted to try something different. This creates pressure if you're able to swarm, or if you're ready to go off and your opponent has... This is just a clutch way to end the game if you need to do it. I might adjust the numbers on these. 3 feels a little clunky, but they're safe charges early game. They're not the card to play all the time, but there are times when Fearless Pan will win you the game because it gives everything double strike and gives everything 5,000 power? Yeah, 5,000 power. So, and she does fit under Chain Attack Trunks. Speaking of, we do run Chain Attack Trunks. He does evolve for 2 energy from the Intensifying Power Trunks, which is one of the reasons that I think he's so good. But there's been a number of times that I've straight up paid the 4 to just play him. I don't run Zeno in this deck. I didn't want the situation of having to reset my hand when I'm ready for a Hyper Evolution play or a Triple Flash play. So we do play 4 of these. There's a number of targets in the deck. Primary targets probably being the Fearless Pan and the Determined Super Saiyan Son Goku. But Chain Attack Trunks in any red engine is amazing. And if I were to build a sideboard, Zeno would definitively be in there. Kind of next from set 5, we do play 2 of the Shenron Figure of Majesty. We don't get to abuse him with World Peace and things of the like, but being able to play him and grabbing a Goku to search or a Dependable Mom to draw another card plus boost a card, or being able to grab an Intensifying Trunks to evolve into a Chain Attack Trunks is really amazing, not to mention the fact that he can give something critical. So Triple Flash with critical is incredibly devastating. Hyper Evolution with critical is incredibly devastating. So we do run 2 of these. I've played them often, but you don't have to... They're not a priority. It was just kind of a fun tech piece that I wanted to be in there, and I've really enjoyed them being in there. When I needed to dig for things, I've been able to play 2 Shenrons in 1 turn after awakening and getting a couple draws out of the way to try to get to the pieces that I need while still having 4 to 5 energy to go. And then next we do play 3 of the Victorious Fist Super Saiyan Son Goku. I don't know that it's necessary to play 3 in this deck, but I wanted to make sure that I saw them. And with things like Janemba Mill running around where you might lose everything, I wanted to make sure that I had this stepping stone to go into Hyper Evolution if I needed to do it. So, and this guy on his own isn't bad. He swings and then restands himself, gaining 5,000 power. He does have double strike, so you swing, he gains 5,000 power, restands, you evolve into Hyper Evolution or Triple Strike off of this guy, and they keep that power boost. So this guy is really awesome. He only costs 1, plus you discard 2 cards from your hand, or 1 card from your hand. So I love this card. I like it more than the starter Super Saiyan 3. Next, we do run the 3 Triple Strikes. Triple Strike EX Evolve for 1. When you EX Evolve, you draw 1 card. He has Deflect, so no Cold Bloodlust, Triple Strike. And then also, because our leader is a Red Saiyan, we do get to abuse the fact that if his power is 40,000 or more, which is incredibly easy with this deck, that your opponent cannot activate counters. Now, they can still activate blockers, but this deck is pretty aggressive and will make your opponent use their blockers at key points. If they don't, they might lose. So, do love Triple Strike. This deck utilizes him to his full capacity. And the last piece of our GT engine, of course, is the Hyper Evolution Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku. I think I've mentioned it before in a past video. This is hands down my favorite secret rare in the game right now. I love Vegito and I love Gogeta, but this to me is probably the easiest secret rare to use. You don't have to go out of your way to use it. Dropping it is pretty much a game winner unless your opponent has Mafuba. If that is really the only way that I can think in a situation when you drop this, your opponent might survive. Is by hitting him with a Mafuba. So we do love this card. It's an EX Evolve off a Goku of 6 or more, so that means you're having to go from the Victorious Fist or the Triple Flash. Determined itself is not enough to get this guy, but when his power is 60,000 or more and you attack, your opponent automatically loses a card. Plus, every time he attacks, he gains 5,000. Then you can discard 2 cards from your hand to restand him. So your hands in this deck run, in late games, if you're not fighting something that's making you discard, between 13 and 14 card count. So that's enough to get him to attack 5 or 6 times, which by that point is probably enough to end the game. So we do run 1 of these in the event we're able to get it. And then our last battle card, we do run 2 of the Supreme Kai of Time Lights Guide. She is awesome if you're running a red or blue leader that can utilize the Overwhelm mechanic. When you Overwhelm with her, she's only an Overwhelm 3. You draw 1 card, and then if your leader is blue or red, it gains 5,000 power for the turn. So it's just a little bit of extra pressure. It's an easy card to play. I might prefer to have Fu in here, but I really like the boost that she gives the leader. It creates a lot of pressure when your opponent is ready to negate one, and you just need to throw an attack out there. If they don't negate the attack, expecting one of your higher, combo out and just win the game. But I do really like her. And then, kind of going into our Awaken, or our extra cards, we've got Unending Awakening. This is a counter from set 1, or set 3. Negate the attack, choose your leader, it gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. This is like a mini Senzu Bean in the deck. It's not quite as good as Senzu Bean, but it definitely helps for those big pushes where your opponent might try to go in on your life. I did only run 2 of these in favor of some of the other extra cards that we're playing. I do run 3 Revenge Death Ball. These are activate mains. If your leader card is Red Baby, it gains 10,000 power for the turn. Then choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and it loses 15,000 power for the turn, or for the duration of the battle. Both of those last for only the battle. I'm sorry if I misspoke there, but this is a good way to get rid of a Goten before it attacks, or drop your opponent's card on the field when their leader attacks, plus also defending yourself at the same time. So Revenge Death Ball is amazing, and it really punishes your opponent for playing unprepared for this particular deck. So we do run 3 of those, just because energy can be a little tight in this deck. I didn't want to clog up with extra cards. And then last but not least, we do run After Image Technique from set 5. I think this is one of the big things that Red got out of set 5. After Image Technique is absolutely amazing. It's a counterattack, doesn't negate the attack, but your leader for the battle gains 40,000 power, and then your opponent's battle card loses 10,000 for the turn. And you can activate this once you have Sparkling 5 by paying 1 from your life. So it's a really versatile card. It's super defensive. It's really hard for your opponent to get over that 40,000 boost. There's very few cards in the game that just instantly get over that automatically. And honestly, if you're to that point, you're going to lose or you're going to dump your hand defending yourself either way. So having one card that will give you 40,000 is a nice step in that direction. So if I'm not mistaken, that's our 40 card count. Like I said, I'm sorry, that's our 50 card count. Blah, I am out of it today, apparently. That is my Vegeta Baby GT deck. I am going to, after this deck, step away from GT stuff for a while. This is probably the third GT deck in a row that I've done. I'm going to step away from this in favor of a couple other things. I've been playing other things that are locals and kind of messing around with friends, and there are other decks that I want to show you guys. These were just the ones that were requested by people, and if you request, I want to make that a priority. So thank you so much again, Aaron, for requesting this deck. I really like this leader. I don't think I like it as much as the Shenron with Hyper Evolution and Triple Flash, but it definitely is a close second. I liked it a lot more than Pan. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, make sure to ring that bell below, sign up for notifications, and subscribe. Don't be afraid to check out our Wasted 20 show. It airs every Wednesday, and then also stay tuned. We've got some D&D one-shot stuff coming up. I think in the next few weeks, we're going to try to start pumping out 2 duels a week for Dragon Ball TCG, and, oh, am I forgetting anything?
Yeah, don't be afraid to send us requests for things that you think are impossible to make. We'll try it.
Yeah, you'll see. Yeah, we'll do anything.
Okay.
And on that, I think we're leaving. All right, guys. Thank you so much.